Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new and improved Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Ribeiro from SteelersSanctuary.com, and today I've got Bob Quinn and David Clore with us. Guys, how's it going?
What's up?
Wonderful.
Dave and I used to do legendary NFL picks at the end of our preview podcast, so we decided to make it its own standalone thing and do our picks. We're hoping to have all the guys with us next week, but for this week, it's just the three of us. We're going to pick every game against the spread and have a little fun with this. You guys ready?
Ready.
Absolutely.
It was legend.
Wait for it.
Dairy. Legendary.
All right, the first game we have is the Minnesota Vikings giving 2.5 points to the New York Jets. This game's in London, guys.
Absolutely.
I'll
Dave,
go
you wanna
first. For me, yeah, I got the Vikings covering this one, covering the 2.5. Look, they got Addison back now, so Gardner will be covering Jefferson. Addison's probably going to go wild in this game, just like he had a big game last week. The defense is a very good defense. Rodgers has got a knee injury, so I think they're going to give him trouble. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and say the Vikings cover this one.
Bob, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. Although, it's nagging at me a little bit. I think Breece Hall, mostly because he's on my fantasy team, could go off. So,
You hope?
know what? In retrospect, I'm going to take the points because I need Breece Hall to go off this week so I can get a win.
All right.
I'm going the Vikings as well. They're so good lately. I'm so impressed with Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold. They're so good together. He's like a quarterback genius, and they've been really impressive. Aaron Rodgers going all the way to London. At what point in that flight does he just check out of this game completely and just say, fuck it? I don't give a shit about this and move on.
Gets there, he's like, I'm tired, boss.
He might hang out. He might hang out at the pub and get into that.
Or that, and spending too much time at a London pub and end up playing shitty. Yeah, Vikings all the way here.
I could tell you the drunkest I've ever been in my life. When I was in the Navy, we were playing in a football tournament in just outside of London, at Heathrow. Not Heathrow, the airport. I can't remember. Braintree was the base. And we're playing in the All-European Football Championships, and we won. We went out to celebrate, and we stashed a bottle of Sambuca outside of the pub, and we were taking turns. Now, there's 22 guys on a football team taking turns hitting that bottle, so it seemed like a great idea. Well, one of my friends, when we got stationed back stateside, decided to relive that moment and stash the bottle of Sambuca outside of a bar, and we forgot that 2 guys drinking versus 22 guys drinking was not a good idea.
No.
I'm not a Sambuca guy. I can't stand the taste of that. I'm out on that. I'd already have to be pretty shit-faced to go to Sambuca, for sure.
If I was to say, if I'm shit-faced, all bets are off. I'll drink any of that stuff.
All right, let's go to our next game. The Chicago Bears are laying 4 at home versus the Carolina Panthers. Bob, you go first this time. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the Panthers here because I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams. I think it could really be an interesting game for Dalton and the Red Rifle. Maybe Deontay Johnson shows out a little bit. I'm gonna take the 4 points.
Dave, what do you got?
Oh, I got the Bears covering. Keenan Allen's back in his second game. Probably getting a better groove now with Caleb Williams, so I could see him having a big game. Panthers defense, I just don't see them being able to shut down all those weapons they have at wide receiver. I just don't. I think Red Ryder comes back down to earth because DJ's hurt. He's not healthy. He's injured his ankle, so they're not even going to get 100% DJ. So I think the Bears actually do cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chicago Bears too. I can't see the Panthers going on the road and covering.
Yeah.
I think that's a big ask. Andy Dalton's been fantastic, but I think he turns back into normal Andy Dalton this week, and
Turns
the
back
Bears
into a
kind of
pumpkin?
cruising this. Yeah, and not just the hair, everything.
Yeah, right.
All right, next one we got the Buffalo Bills laying 1 point at the Houston Texans. Dave, you want to start this one?
Sure. I think the Texans cover 1.5 here. Or it's 1 now. It would drop down to 1. I think the Texans do cover. You saw in that Ravens game, the Bills, they've lost all those playmakers on defense, and it's hard for them to stop, offenses with a really high-powered passing attack. And I think they're going to have a problem with that, with Stroud throwing to those guys he's got. So I think Diggs has a big game.
Oh yeah, this is the Diggs revenge game, right?
Yeah, and here's the other thing too: the Bills' run game, it hasn't been great lately. If you look at that last game against the Ravens, they didn't do shit. So I think the Texans pull us off. I think they do beat them.
Before last week, I thought Buffalo was the best team in the AFC, and now I don't know what to think because they did not play well at all.
They lost too many players. They had a mass exodus in the offseason on defense mostly, and I was like, man, and they lost Diggs. It's just with him gone plus that defense losing a lot of playmakers. I knew they were not going to be as good. They got Allen, I get it, but at the same time, he needs supporting players around him, and he doesn't really have as much.
I love Josh Allen. I think he's probably the second best quarterback in the league behind, Mahomes. I think Houston does win at home, though. If this was in Buffalo, I think I would take Buffalo. But I'm going to stick with the Texans and lay the point here. Bob, what do you got?
Yeah, it's hard to there's only a couple home dogs this week, and the Texans, I think, have not played their best game. I think Buffalo could bring it out of them, and I think we saw some of, against the Ravens, some of the stuff where they look, they came back down to earth and look. I think they're good enough against the run to slow Cook down. I think if Josh Allen, there's rumors that there's some friction with Keon Coleman because he's a little too diva-like. If Allen's going to turn into that where, I never want a number one receiver, well, he's going to get what he wants. So
yeah,
I'm going to take the Texans as a home dog. Can't lay off them.
All right, next game, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars getting 3 points at home against the Indianapolis Colts. I'll start this one off. I have a sneaking feeling the Jaguars are going to pull this off. I think a full week to prepare for Joe Flacco, because I believe Anthony Richardson is not playing, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah, so a full week preparing for Flacco. Maybe the Colts feeling themselves a little bit. The running back's out for the Colts. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jaguars here.
You want me to go, Bob?
I can go. I'm here in Jacksonville, and I can tell you this. The Doug Peterson drum is starting to beat.
Uh-oh.
There is a chance if the Jaguars do not win this game that he doesn't go to London, because the Jaguars the next 2 weeks after this are back-to-back in London. So I think the Jaguars figure out a way. I think the Colts were incredibly pumped up in what was a super must win for them last week against us. I'm gonna lay the points and take the home dog here.
Well, I'm the opposite. I think Doug Peterson might not want to book a flight to London because I don't think the Jaguars are going to cover. I don't think they cover the 3 points. They're banged up on defense. Savage, Hines Allen, Devin Lloyd, Daniel Thomas, Yasir Abdullah are all banged up on defense. And then you've got, let's see here, ATN, I think, is hurt on offense for the Jaguars too. So they've got Ingram's not playing either, I don't think. I think he's out as well.
Oh, yeah,
So
Ingram's been out. He's still a couple
out.
of weeks away.
Right. So they're hurting bad. And then the Colts get Josh Allen back. Flacco turned him into the second coming of Ray Rice out there. Or not Ray Rice, I'm sorry. Jerry Rice. So, I just don't know what to think. I don't, and that when it comes to those things that I'm looking at, all the injuries, I don't think the Jags are going to cover this one. I think the Colts are going to win it.
Yeah.
All right.
Watch out for a big game from Brian Thomas in this one, though. I really think
it's going to have to be.
Yeah, Lawrence, and he's a beast. I mean, Malik Neighbors is getting all the attention, but Thomas has played very well so far.
And they have Tank Bigsby, right, as their other running back, who they kind of like, right?
Yeah, they do like him a lot.
But he's questionable too, I think. I think he's got an injury.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. They are banged up on defense and on offense.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, the New England Patriots are laying 1 point at home against the Miami Dolphins. I'm hearing rumors out here in New England that Drake May might play this game. So that's an interesting little wrinkle to this. A rookie quarterback
Yeah, it is interesting.
in his first start. Miami Dolphins looked like a train wreck last Monday night. Their quarterback situation is awful. Bob, what do you think?
That's interesting if Drake May is playing, because I was set to. I mean, this might be the only home game all year where the Patriots are favored. I mean, honestly, I hate to go against them. I mean, I like Ramondre Stevenson. I love the idea of Drake May playing. I just can't do it, though. I think they figure out a way. Snoop Huntley figures out a way to throw one pass to Tyreek Hill for a touchdown, and that'll be the difference in the game.
Yeah,
Dave,
I'm taking the Dolphins in this one. So first of all, it just came out today that Stevenson's not even starting the game for the Patriots. He's being punished for all of his fumbles. So they're basically, arguably, their best playmaker is not even going to start the game. So between that, the Dolphins are getting OBJ back to put out there with Waddle and with Tyreek Hill and a chain. That's a lot of playmakers. So just be smart, get the ball to them, and I think they're going to do just fine. As long as they can limit the turnovers, the Dolphins should win this game. I honestly believe that because Stevenson's not even going to play a lot. And now I think they are getting, is it Kendrick Bourne is coming back this game?
I believe
for the Pats.
Yeah.
So that may help the Patriots a little bit, but only 1 point. Yeah, no, I'm taking the Dolphins.
I don't know if he's as stubborn as Belichick was with this punishment thing. I mean, it could be like the old college punishment. You're not starting the game. It's 2nd and 9. Get in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
it could
really,
very well be that.
They better hope they're going. And that's the thing. Like, do you really not play him that much? Like, it's just I don't.
Especially if you're going to start Drake May and you're going to take their best running back out of the game and put the poor kid in there.
Right? Why in the fucking world would you start May and take out his best running back? It doesn't make any sense.
Welcome to the NFL. We're going to take away your best weapon. Good luck. God bless.
Literally. Like, hey, good luck, buddy.
I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. I think they pull it off at home. I think there's going to be some real excitement with Drake May at quarterback if he plays. It's rumors right now. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But either way, I think the Patriots pull it off. I think this Miami thing starts to disintegrate really fast. I think the coach ends up on the hot seat. You saw Tyreek Hill already acting up on the sidelines because he wasn't getting the ball. This is going to get bad. They got a lot of divas on that team. They're going to play Odell Beckham this week. Talk about you want to really fuck up your team chemistry. Bring in Odell Beckham. This is going to be a disaster. Yeah, exactly. I'm predicting bad things for the Dolphins the rest of the season.
Yeah.
For it to only be 1 point, though, people they bookies really can't pick one on this one.
Yeah.
No.
This is one I would not bet on.
You know,
like if my one thing of advice is don't bet on this game because
yeah,
you have no fucking idea what's going to happen.
100%.
None.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Except for maybe the over on yardage for Tyreek Hill.
Right. Yeah. Which you could probably go under because he hasn't done jack shit since Tua got hurt. None of them have.
The ball.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Let's move on to the next game. The Denver Broncos are laying 3 points at home to the Las Vegas Raiders. This one's another train wreck, guys. This is Antonio Pierce calling out his team. You know, the Raiders are another train wreck. This was almost my lock of the week. This was very close, but I'm going to save it for later. Who wants to go first on this? So Dave, you go first.
Yeah, Broncos are going to cover. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, no Adams. Crosby is going to play, but he's hurt. Zamir White's out. Michael Mayer's out. That's stout Denver's defense at home, plus Denver's offense is starting to put up some points now. So there's no way the Raiders win this. I mean, it is a rivalry, but at the same time, there's also reality too. Like I don't know.
I don't understand how the Broncos are 2-2, and then again, the Raiders are 2-2. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, Antonio Pierce is a pretty tough guy. He might be able to take most of his team. So
for me, it's the Broncos defense. It's the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to throw Sean Payton a bone here, but I got to agree. I think I'm taking the Broncos to cover.
Yeah, I agree. That's three of us. The Broncos in a rout. I think they're really going to put it on them. I think the wheels start to come off for the Raiders this week. So all of us in agreement. It's the Raiders this
Yeah.
week. I mean the Broncos.
The Broncos, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I
means bet the Raiders.
Yeah. Go out there and bet the Raiders.
Look, I got that Broncos defense in fantasy. I need them to step up for me really bad.
All right, we've got our next game is the San Francisco 49ers at home, given 7 points to the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what to make of this Arizona Cardinals team. I thought for sure they were at home last week against Washington. I put a little of my Davy dollars on them and a teaser and a parlay, and they screwed me. So they look good the first couple weeks, and they've been terrible since then. Bob, you can go first on this one. What do you think?
7's such a big number, and
Big number.
you know, San Francisco ain't exactly the healthiest team out there either. So Arizona was really surprising against the Bills in the opener. They haven't played very good since. I mean, I like James Conner, but I don't think they can move the ball on the offense. I hate to lay 7, but I'm laying 7.
So
Dave, what do
I
you
don't think the 49ers are going to cover. I think it's going to be closer. I don't trust 7.5. Kittle's banged up. Fred Warner is also hurt. So if he doesn't play, then McBride, the tight end for them, who might be coming back, is going to eat because he's usually one that covers the primary tight end. So I think that's really going to help Arizona. Plus, they have MHJ as well. So I think that this is going to be closer than people think. Now, McBride came off for the concussion, but they just reported today that he has an injured rib. So to me, it's one of two things. Warner playing or McBride playing is going to have the variables with this to where I would not bet on this game at all. The 7.5, I'm not touching it. No.
Of course, I have McBride as on my fantasy team, so of course now he's got a rib. Great.
So do I. That's
Thanks,
why
Brad.
yes.
This is my upset special. I'm taking Arizona. I think they might win outright. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. But that AFC West is wacky, and I'm taking them. I think the Cardinals are going to win.
Yeah,
Pull
see,
the big upset.
I think they still lose, but I think it's going to be by 3 at most 6. That's it.
Okay.
All right. Then.
Next game on the. Oh, God, Bob, I'm sorry.
No, I said all right then.
All right.
I was.
All right. Next game on the docket is the Los Angeles Rams getting 3 at home versus the Green Bay Packers. Rams are so beat up. No Cooper Kupp again. I love McVay. I think the Packers win this one easy. I'm taking the Packers, laying the 3 points. Bob, what do you got?
Well,
To be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
all right. So this is my lock of the week. I like the Rams here
Oh,
because McVay always figures out a way at home. Every time you count the Rams out, something weird happens. I know they don't have Kupp. I know they don't have Nakua, Matthew Stafford, Kyron Williams. I don't think Jordan Love played very well last week and watching it back. And I think he's still a little more hurt. I almost think they would have been better off letting Willis play again last week and then having him. I think they sacrificed Love's health a little bit for the win last week. This is my upset special. I love the Rams here.
Dave, what do you think?
I do not love the Rams. I think the Packers are going to cover. That Packers defense is really good. They're going to go all out to stop Kyren Williams, and they're not going to be able to move the ball much. I don't think the Rams are going to be able to. So I kind of think the opposite. I think Love is going to get a better groove this week in his second game back. Now, the problem is that Dobbs, they suspended him for a game for that was detriment to the team or whatever. So they're not going to have him. They got Wicks now, so Wicks will have more of a primary role. And Wicks is a good wide receiver, too, in his own right.
He's really good. He's really good.
So him and
like
Reed are going to be their main guys. So I don't think they're going to drop much of a beat here. But I just it's more the defense for me. That Packers defense is really good. And all the weapons except for Kyren Williams are gone. So if they take out their only one weapon, good luck to the Rams.
Is Christian Watson playing?
No. No, Watson and Dobbs are out. It's going to be Reed and Wicks, and that's it.
I like my Rams pick.
I like. Hey, I get it. It's because of the defense for me, the Packers defense, and it's at home, right? They're at Rams. They're mine. So,
Yeah, they're at Rams.
it's a
I
tough
think
one.
Love needed one game to knock off the rust, and he got it out of the way in Minnesota last week. He'll be good this week. I think they win comfortably. We'll see.
Absolutely. All right, who we
All
got
right.
next here?
Next game, the Seattle Seahawks are at home, laying 3 points to the New York Giants.
To be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
This is my lock of the week. Seahawks at home. They were my lock last week. They came home. They're going to be my lock this week. There's no way the Giants go cross country. Neighbors is out, correct? For this game?
Yes.
I forget it.
Yeah, dude. This is my lock.
Go
of
put
the
the
week,
mortgage
too.
on the Seahawks this week.
Easily
It's
my
gonna be a
lock of
rout.
the week as well. Although I am like 0 for 3 or whatever with locks of the week. But I mean,
Dave, now you make me nervous. I don't
no,
want to
right?
change it.
Hey, this is on you. You should have let me go first.
I should have.
But you could have changed your mind. You could be like, you know what? Fuck that. I ain't going. I'm going to go another route. But yeah, Seahawks are going to cover 7. It's in Seattle. No neighbors, and Singletary's now doubtful. So like the run game's not going to be there. The passing game's not going to really be there. I don't even know if they're going to touch the end zone. Seattle got honestly. Seattle got K9 back, Kenneth Walker III. Dude, I think he had 3 touchdowns last week for them.
Did.
Dude, on top of Metcalf and Smith and Jigba and Charbonnet to even spell K9. I mean, dude, there's no way. I lock of the week.
Yeah,
Bob?
I mean, I don't think there's any way the Giants win the game. I just wanted to be a little different with the Rams thing, but yeah, I mean, the Seattle weapons are too much. The Giants didn't touch the end zone with a couple of games with neighbors, so without them, yeah, I think the only interesting thing here is how many times does Daniel Jones turn the ball over?
There you go. I
A couple, I bet.
can't agree more.
I was so impressed with Geno Smith when he played the Steelers last year. I had not paid close enough attention to him because he was fantastic against the Steelers, and he's been good ever since. And I'm sure he was before that. I wasn't paying attention, but he's a really good quarterback.
Yeah, Joe Starkey talks all the time how much he loves Geno Smith and the story and the comeback and everything, and probably the West Virginia ties.
West Virginia, baby. Don't give
Yeah.
up on us.
That's
Don't
why
ever give
Dave
up on
loves him.
us.
Hey, you know what? In all honesty, Geno Smith was good enough, or so good that Pete Carroll was very confident that, yeah, bye, Russell. I
know.
like what I got.
That's a
That was
good
a hell
point.
of that was a hell of a move by them.
And they got
look.
that trade was
look,
crazy, right?
Yeah, WU guy, like even I was just like, you sure you want to do this? Like, I wasn't, but yeah, I mean, they figured something out with him, and boom.
Yeah, that's really worked out. I mean, Denver maybe in the AFC West, though, I can't see Denver breaking out and winning the division anytime soon. But Seattle has set themselves up for, maybe a serious contender for the 49ers here in the next year or two. They can't keep paying everybody in San Francisco.
You'd like to think.
All right. Our next game is the Kansas City Chiefs laying 5.5 at home against the New Orleans Saints. Can the Chiefs luck out another win? That
Yes.
is the question.
Yeah,
All right,
I
Dave,
got them.
go first.
I got them covering the 5.5. Look, the Saints are going to be without Willie Gay, Taysom Hill, Cesar Ruiz, Shane Lemieux, and Peyton Turner. Mahomes gets at least Mikael Hardman back, speed guy that he can get the ball off to. Kareem Hunt's going to be in his second game getting comfortable. He already looks like the playmaker that he used to be with them. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game.
Bob, what do you think?
I think this is the breakout game for Xavier Worthy. I like the Chiefs here too, only because I think the Saints, with that fast start they got off to, that was a little smoke and mirrors. I don't think the Saints are a bad team. I think they're going to contend in the NFC South, but now them marching into Arrowhead. I mean, if this was in New Orleans, I'd feel much differently. The spread probably be a little different too, but yeah, I don't know how you can pick against Mahomes, and I don't see anybody in New Orleans being able to cover Worthy.
Yeah, in Kansas City. Oh my.
Well, guys, I'm going to take the Saints. I think they got a shot. Dennis Allen's a good defensive head coach.
Bob, you're
Comes
keeping
with
track
good-
of this, right?
Absolutely.
Good.
I think he's going to have a good game plan for the Chiefs. They haven't impressed me. I think at least they cover. They may not go in there and win, but they're going to cover that 5.5 point spread. I can feel a big week coming, guys. I'm feeling it this week.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling an ass whooping here.
Better hope with them Davy dollars you're feeling it.
All right. Final game before we do the Steelers is the Washington Commanders laying 3 points at home versus the Cleveland Browns. Oh, this is not our last game, by the way. I'm sorry, we got a couple more.
Yeah,
I'm gonna scroll up more. My bad.
But our first AFC North game.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta get
That's
to that
right.
too. Yeah.
I guess. Do we believe in Daniels as the quarterback for the Commanders? Is this for real?
He's for real.
Yeah, I loved him coming out. I thought before the combine, I thought there was a real chance he'd be around when we drafted in the teens. But once he got to the combine, I think everybody saw what this guy is. I mean, I think he was the best quarterback in the draft, and I was, sorely disappointed when he climbed up into the top 5.
Yeah, I look, Daniels is for real. I know because I have paid the price for not starting him on my fantasy team while he's been on my bench. He's put up tons of points. The Browns' offense has struggled. They're horrendous with Watson at the helm. 27th in points to the Commanders being 3rd in putting points on the board, guys. That's a big difference. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with the Commanders, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, I think Commanders cover.
I agree.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I agree. I think the Commanders I don't think they're going to put up 30, 40 points here, but you don't need to put up 30, 40 points. And I think Cleveland's defense, at least for the first half, will have some wrinkles for him. But I don't see any way that the Commanders don't score 17 to 20 points. And if you hit 17, you beat Cleveland with the way they are now. I mean, that Deshaun Watson thing, I mean, I think we're maybe a week away from Jameis Winston, maybe 2.
It's definitely possible. Guys, I smell a rat in this game. It almost seems too easy to take the Commanders. And usually when it's like that, you're better off going the opposite way. So I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to take the 3 points.
Get all that, Bob. Yeah, get all that. Everything you say right now. Get all of it. Yep.
I think Cleveland's defense brings Daniels back to earth a little bit.
Send Bob your notes. We want to keep track of these ones.
You keep talking there, big guy. Don't make me break out the records from last year.
Hey, let's take it easy. Last year, don't bring up old shit, okay? Let's not bring up old shit.
Next week our records will be under our name. So
oh no, man, woo!
I'm just hoping my 3-11 or 3-10 is good enough.
Well, we both took
Dave's
the same lock there.
That. Wait a minute.
We both took the same lock, so you screwed yourself on that one. So
yes, I did. Yes,
I've already accepted I got that one wrong.
Yeah, I think that the Commanders might be feeling themselves a little bit too, and that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the Commanders blow them out of the park, but
yeah, you mean both.
I have a funny feeling the Browns figure out a way to win this one.
Absolutely.
All right.
Here's a big
Next
one
up.
for Steelers. Yeah.
Yes. Next up, big AFC North clash. The Baltimore Ravens laying 2.5 points at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have given the Ravens trouble over the last couple of years, but they look like 2 different teams right now. Bob, what do you think?
I'm kind of hoping that maybe Chase and Higgins go off again against Baltimore. I think Baltimore is a little bit smoke and mirrors, but the Cincinnati defense isn't very good. So as much as I'd love to pick the Bengals, I hope the Bengals win. I wouldn't bet money on it. I'd take the Ravens here.
I'm actually going to say the Ravens will not cover the 2.5. I don't think they will. I think the Bengals actually will win this game. They're getting back Hendrickson, Hill, Jackson, and Murphy to their defense. So that's a huge boost. Rankins is still not playing, but having the rest of those guys back is going to be a huge boost to their defense, and they're getting it just in time. It's Higgins' second game back, so I think he'll get in a better groove with Burrow. So him with Chase, I'd like to think that they'll be starting putting up more points too. It's at Bengals, and the Ravens usually lose out there, don't they? I think that don't really do well when they go away against the Bengals, I think, traditionally. So, yeah, I think the Bengals are going to upset them.
I hope so.
Dave, I'm agreeing with you. I think the Bengals are going to win it as well. I'm starting to get very nervous about my picks now. Do we want to put our records underneath our names?
Oh, yes.
We're going to have a
it's
meeting
on
about
now.
that.
It's on now. Yeah. It's
Yeah, well, next week, Zach and Leanna will hopefully be able to join us, and we'll be able to see, because they're going to be on the honor system and say what they were. So if we'll know something's up if they're 10-3, although Zach's awful good with those picks.
right.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of the Ravens. They look great some weeks and they look terrible other weeks. They've been inconsistent. The Bengals haven't been good at all. But yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals. Bengals going to win. And for our final game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are laying 3 points at Acrisure Stadium against the Dallas Cowboys. We've given our predictions in our other pod, but if you guys didn't hear that one, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Dave, what was your prediction? I don't even remember at this point.
Well, I got Pittsburgh covering the 2.5. Look, Dallas is going to be without Lawrence and Parsons officially. Possibly Diggs and Carson, both starting corners for them, might be out of this game too. You combine that with them being 27th, stopping the run. I think it's tailor-made for the Steelers to win because we know the Steelers want to run the football. Najee Harris, I think, is going to have a pretty big game, finally. But look, I think it's simple. You stop Lamb, feed Najee, and unleash Fields, they win this game. I got them winning 24-17. That 17 will be a late, last, nothing garbage touchdown to make it 24-17. It won't be as close as it'll appear on the score sheet.
Bob, what's your prediction?
I cannot understate enough, and I said this on our podcast, how much I hate the Dallas Cowboys. And I remember the Super Bowls. I remember Lambert knocking Harris down, and I could Henderson, spotting Bradshaw, the C and the T. I think the Steelers. I think it'll be a late touchdown where that kind of makes it look a little bit closer. But I think we're out in this game, 21-7, 21-0, kind of like the Colts did to us. I feel like 27-14. Dak Prescott will be the great late game magic. I mean, this guy, I don't even understand why people think he's such a good quarterback, other than, hey, he's probably really great on your fantasy team. I've never drafted him. He always throws up points when he's down 28-3 like he did against the Ravens. So I don't know. I see the Steelers going away with this one. The other big factor here is Brandon Cooks doesn't look like he's going to play. And
that's another one. Yep.
I think we can really dedicate some resources to just saying, CeeDee Lamb, you ain't going to beat us. And if he does get loose, wow. I mean, I don't understand how he's the only weapon and we didn't figure out how to cover him.
Yeah, this game lines up perfectly for the Steelers. This should, I say in quotation marks, should be a relatively easy game for them. Like Bob said, it's just one weapon on offense. Their defense isn't very good. This should be, I predict 27-10 on the last pod. I'm sticking with that. I think this is a big TJ Watt game. I think Dak Prescott's the perfect quarterback for him, a big target. Mobile, but not super mobile. I think Dallas Cowboys tackles aren't that good either. We should have a couple sacks from TJ Watt. Najee should go off, like Dave said. This is tailor-made for him, too. We get Seumalo back on the offensive line. That's huge.
It is.
Yeah, I hate to predict easy wins for the Steelers because we never see it, ever. But I think this one's going to be comfortable, 27-10 Pittsburgh. It's the only other way it's not is it's one of those Tomlin inexplicable game plan, scratching our heads, banging our heads against the desk. Why are they doing this type thing? That's the only thing I can come up with.
Great. Then we get to spend a whole week listening to guys like Mike Florio and Rich Eisen tell us how dumb we are for wanting him fired.
Literally.
Guys, at this point, I wouldn't put anything past the Steelers. This team's been so helter-skelter for 4 seasons now?
Yes.
Who knows? All right, that was our last game. I like this. I think we're going to keep this going. This is going to be fun. Hopefully we get the whole gang with us next time. Email us. Tell us what you thought about it. leave a comment for us. Don't forget, subscribe, please. Rate and review YouTube, podcast. That really helps us out a lot. And until next time, thanks for listening to the Steel Sanctuary podcast, guys.